This video will provide a short demonstration of how you can help the iNaturalist community by lending your expertise as a Georgia entomologist to identifying the rather enormous backlog of unidentified or insufficiently identified insects and arachnids from the state of Georgia. Let's start with the basics. Once you've logged into your iNaturalist account, go to the top menu and click on the Identify tab. Click on the Filters button, then select the arthropod and the insect icons. Then, in the Location box, type in Georgia, but make sure it's the state of Georgia and not the country of Georgia. To start the actual identifying process, click on an observation, which will consist of, among other things, one or more photographs or audio files, the date, time, and location of the observation, and the provisional identification, which may or may not be at the species level. Note that you can click on an image to get a larger view. Do you agree with this provisional identification? If not, what do you think it is? If the identification is only at a higher level, say beetles, can you provide a more specific identification? If you agree with an existing identification, click the Agree button and you can go on to the next slide by clicking on this small right arrow. If you don't know what an insect is, for example in this case, I'm not familiar with the genus Tyloclitus, you can click the Reviewed box and move on to the next observation. This prevents this observation from showing up on your list the next time you come to do identifications for iNaturalist. Don't do that, of course, if you want to revisit it at a later date. If you can provide a more specific identification, click on the Add ID button and start entering either the scientific or a common name until you see it in the list of suggestions, then select it. Ideally, you will want to provide at least some information regarding the basis for your identification. And whenever you suggest an ID, remember to save it. Now, you may not feel confident or interested in identifying even a small fraction of the tens of thousands of species of entomological interest in the state of Georgia. No worries, you can always choose a species that you are quite confident or interested in. To start, enter either the scientific name or a common name of the species, which will give you a list of those observations that have been given that name but need further confirmation. Proceed as you'd done before, either agreeing with this identification or providing an alternative ID. As before, skip the observations about which you're not certain, checking the Reviewed box as needed. In the Search Species box, you can actually enter any taxonomic level from species to kingdom. For example, entering Lepidoptera will show you all the observations of butterflies and moths that require additional confirmation. You may often encounter observations in which you can improve the taxonomic resolution without knowing the exact species. In those cases, by all means, enter the level of identification with which you are comfortable. This is still a valuable contribution. Indeed, it is important to the success of iNaturalist that you only identify observations to the taxonomic level that you are sure of. Another option is to focus on those observations that are the subject of active disagreements. These are cases in which subsequent identifiers disagreed either with the original observer or with each other or both. To access these controversial observations, click on the Filters button and check the Disagreements box. Like before, you can either agree with the observer or an identifier, add your own ID, or pass on to the next record if you're not sure. These are the basics for using your expertise to adding identifications to iNaturalist. Given the enormous backlog of Georgia entomological observations in need of assessment, your contributions are greatly appreciated. Thank you for helping out on iNaturalist.